Want a great bodyweight cardio move that you can include in your interval workouts that will target your entire core and really get your blood pumping? Want a move that's perfect to modify based on your fitness level, needs, and goals? Then you'll love this bodyweight exercise, the tabletop crawl. This truly is a basic, fundamental movement pattern that we need to include in our workouts. And you may be thinking, but wait, babies crawl. Isn't crawling easy? The answer is no. This crawl will not only challenge your body, but also your mind and coordination. Unlike the baby crawl, your knees are going to hover off the ground. And with the tabletop crawl, unlike the bear crawl, you want to focus on keeping your butt down and knees just a few inches off the ground. You also want to focus on that contralateral movement pattern, or the opposite arm and leg working together. This is a great way to improve your coordination, especially for movements like running. While you can focus on moving faster only and allow a bit more rotation of your core, you can also use this move to work on that anti-rotational core strength. And then you can crawl in every direction using the tabletop or bulldog position, even mixing things up by adding in rotational moves like the sit-through, holds, or even other crawl variations to the flow. All of these things make this crawling variation a killer cardio move. So how do you do this basic tabletop crawl? Start on your hands and knees with your knees under your hips and your hands under your shoulders. Starting out, or to modify this move, if you get out of sync, you can go down to your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes under though and lift up under the balls of your feet and hands so your knees are hovering just a few inches off the ground. To start with the crawl forward, step forward with one hand, and as you do, step the opposite foot forward, bringing your knee in. Start with small steps and focus on keeping your hips still as you step forward. Then step the other hand forward and the other foot. Think small steps as you brace your abs and keep your knees close to the ground. You can continue taking steps forward in this way with the opposite arm and leg moving together, or you can reverse your direction and crawl backwards. When you crawl backwards, be conscious of taking small steps, especially to start. This requires a bit more upper body strength than the forward crawl, oddly enough, and often we get more spread out as we have a tendency to reach further back with our feet when crawling backwards, placing more load on our upper body. As you step one foot back, remember to step back with the opposite hand. Using this basic forward-backward crawl, you can then add in occasional holds or even a sit-through on each end of the crawl. You can also add in little jacks or side-to-side hops if you want. You can also use the same crawling position to move laterally. How do you do the lateral tabletop crawl? The lateral crawl is a great move to improve your coordination, and you may find the movement pattern a bit more challenging to start. And if you're thinking, I'm too old for this move, you're wrong. As we get older, including moves that work on our coordination and neuromuscular efficiency are even more key. They keep us functionally strong. While you can make the lateral crawl an ipsilateral or same side working together movement, it's still a great contralateral move. To do the lateral crawl as a contralateral movement pattern with the opposite hand and foot working together, set up with your hands together under your chest and your feet or knees about shoulder width apart. Then step one hand out wide to the side so your hands are about shoulder width apart as you step the opposite foot in towards the other. As your hands move apart, your feet move together. To continue moving laterally, your foot on the same side as the hand you just moved will step to the side as you bring the opposite hand in to meet your other hand. Move slowly to start keeping your knees hovering just off the ground. Continue moving all the way to one side before you come back the other direction. Focus on keeping your hips still as you move side to side. How do you modify this basic crawl? While you can always go down your hands and knees to start, another way to modify this move that's a bit more comfortable for the knees if your surface isn't padded is to use an incline. For lateral crawls, you can use a bench as your incline and move along the length of it. For forward-backwards crawls, stairs actually work best as you can place your hands up on a higher step and crawl up a step at a time. While often we'll cheat and modify by allowing our butt to come up in the air during the basic crawl off the ground, we want to recognize this changes how we're activating muscles and will not give us the same ab or quad benefit that the basic tabletop crawl or bulldog position does. So using an incline can really help us master that positioning. Crawling can be a great way to improve our coordination and our conditioning. It's a great move to include in an interval workout, even with traditional moves we love like the burpee, especially if we want to include jumping. We'll work our entire core and get our blood pumping. For a great workout using this crawl and even including the sit-through exercise, check out the link in the video description. If you liked the video, make sure to like it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe. We're posting new videos each week.